Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Brittany?
Yeah, she gave a thumbs up.
All right. Oh, wait.
Is she muted? Add speaker.
Now say something.
She's still muted.
Are you muted?
Better.
There you go.
Yeah.
Better. Yeah. Give us a second here. We're sharing it to social media because I forgot to do that earlier.
Say something now. I had to turn my volume down.
Marco.
All right, hold on. Let me turn it down a little more. I have surround sound on my computer, so.
I hear a baby, I think.
All right.
Yes, you do.
All right. Barking dogs.
You got barking dogs. I got crying babies.
Yeah. We're doing good so far.
Be quiet.
Right?
No. Hey, girl.
All right. So, Brittany, JJ. All right, enough. All right. Enough. Sorry, guys. We have dogs. Okay. Let me share here.
And you need to log out when you're done. That's where the extra audio is coming from.
We're not in anything. We got to figure out the dog situation.
They want to be on camera.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right. So JJ is not able to be with us tonight. Let's see here. Hey, Kathy. Hopefully JJ's in here. We know Brittany's in here.
JJ's in here.
If you have your chat code, throw it up in the text, and you'll get your 5 entries. Let's see here. So, Chris, how are you doing tonight?
Good.
Good. Brittany, how are you doing tonight?
Good.
JJ, are you there?
JJ said I'm here in chat.
Awesome. All right. Let me see here. There we go. So, what we want to talk about tonight?
Why'd Brittany's picture go away?
I don't know. She's still on there. We're having connection issues with Brittany. So, what we want to talk about tonight? We want to talk about... What do we want to talk about? We want to talk about Cresson?
Cresson and
Oops.
Hospital on College Hill. There she is.
There you are. So we are going to talk about probably Cresson.
And Old Hospital on College
Old
Hill.
Hospital on College Hill. And let me take these off. Oh, that's better.
She's blind, but I'm blind without them.
Yeah, I am. Okay, so Cresson, Old Hospital, or Old College on Hospital, whatever.
Old Hospital on College Hill.
I can't ever remember that location. And then we just did one at the Haymond house, right?
The Haunted Haymond.
The Haunted Haymond. So JJ accompanied us on the Haunted Haymond, and Brittany, unfortunately, she was in Rhode Island. We do little training things like that in between so we can keep our senses sharp. So let's start out by talking about Cresson. Brittany, do you have any thoughts on Cresson?
It was interesting.
Here we got a little slide here of Cresson somewhere. This is the Haunted Haymond house. This is the outside of the Haunted Haymond house. JJ and Chris were here with us. At the Haunted Haymond. So yeah, the Haunted Haymond was huge, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. So that was a little clip of the Haunted Haymond. Then I don't think I have Cresson or well, no, because Cresson we didn't have any videos from that really.
Nope.
Because I would like to say something, but I can't get the videos downloaded from where we went live. I'm not going to say the social media channel in question that won't let us download it, but I can't download any of the Cresson videos. It's ridiculous.
They said
It's crazy.
So what do you think about Cresson, Brittany? You and JJ, what do you guys think about Cresson? What did you experience?
Well, so I personally got to go to the tuberculosis building.
Mm-hmm. And how was
That alone. It was a different energy than what I'm used to.
it different? Like how so?
Um, in certain spots you'd get heavy energy as like you can't breathe, so you feel like you are a patient there.
Right?
And then you have the children's ward, which that is just it to me it's sad. No matter where I am, wherever children are, it just makes me sad.
Yeah, definitely. It is always sad when children are involved. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, children are definitely something that when you encounter them, there's always a heavy, sad feeling and goes along with it.
Yep.
JJ, you're in chat. What do you think about Cresson? What did you think about Cresson? I know you and Brittany got lost in the tunnel.
Ugh.
You want to talk about that, Brittany? Well, when we first got there, we sent them down because I locked us out of the chapel. Because the wind
We
came.
were told, and you were told, do not let the door slam. You let it slam.
I know. Well, the wind caught it when I was closing it, and it slammed it. But yeah, so we ended up getting locked out of the chapel. So at the very beginning, I sent Brittany and JJ downstairs into the tunnels, and
To get lost.
you can tell everybody what happened, Brittany, JJ. JJ
We
said,
wouldn't have gotten lost if JJ listened to me the first time we passed the stairs to the chapel, and I said, those are the stairs to the chapel. He said, no, they're not. But they are.
"How long were you guys lost down there? I don't even know. I know
Oh, honestly, I don't remember.
we made a lie
It felt forever.
it.
It felt like a good half hour they were gone.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
we kept taking turns that would go to different spots, and we're just like, I said, JJ, we're too far.
Those tunnels are definitely easy to get turned around and go the opposite direction or further than what you thought. And
Yeah, well, I want to go back and go through those tunnels.
another thing is, if you exit out of one of those buildings, some of those buildings you couldn't get out of. They just let you further up the property. And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had a map even and got lost, and I was like, well, if they got lost with a map already, I'm screwed.
Hold on. That was my fault.
I told everybody the tunnels are on the map. Nobody would listen.
So when he said, look at the map, I finally realized, ooh, these are the tunnels.
JJ said about 15, 20 minutes. Kathy said, oh, awesome. Is that the place you guys went to for the investigation? Yeah, we've been to a couple of different places, Kathy.
Kathy, we've been to Cresson CSI. We went to the old hospital on College Hill. We've been to the haunted Haymond.
Mm-hmm. Those are places we can talk about. Some places we can't talk about where it's not something we can talk about till later on. But yeah, we've been to a lot of different places here lately. Just training, we went to a lot of different places. JJ said you guys were lost about 15 to 20 minutes. That sounds about right. So they came up into the chapel from the tunnel because the tunnel runs through all the buildings on Cresson. And the door that I locked was still locked. They couldn't unlock it from the inside, but luckily there was a door on the other side that was open still. So we had access to the chapel, which in my opinion was probably
It was pretty active.
the craziest, darkest place in them. What do you think about the chapel? Because the other two didn't go in. It was just me and you, really.
Oh, there was definitely something in the chapel, and it wasn't the most friendly thing that you want to encounter for sure. We called it moving. Too bad we can't get the video. And the laser's on the top left up on the balcony. You can see it black out the laser grid. And
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they investigated the chapel at all.
no, I think they went in there for you, but that was just on their own to explore to get the feel for everything.
JJ said the energy in the chapel was crazy, yes. And you would think that, and actually a little behind the scene note that I didn't tell anybody but our other investigators, is I actually came home with a scratch from the chapel. And I didn't realize it until I was taking a shower when I got home, but I had a great big scratch right down in front of my stomach in a way that I couldn't have done it. And I know what they look like anyways. They kind of look like perforations, the scratches. And so, yeah, I did come home with that. But I think it's because I asked, why are you in a place that's so holy or, such a good place?
It didn't like the holy.
No, I was like, why are you in such a good place being such a bad thing? How did you get here? And I think that's probably why I got the scratch. But
It seemed like whatever it was, like to be high up in the building and always somewhere that it could see you, but you couldn't necessarily see it. Not necessarily hidden, but to where it was out of view. And
Yeah.
what else did we do in the chapel?
we had REM pods, we had the SB11, we had the millimeter in there,
Didn't we have the motion detector
motion
too?
detectors.
Yeah. Baby girl, stop. Okay, so let's see. JJ and Brittany, you guys were down the tunnel when you got lost. You came across a lot of something that was interesting to me. I actually did get to see the video and watch what you caught, but tell everybody else what you came across down in the Cresson tunnel.
A
You know,
giant wad of red hair on top of a filing cabinet with bird feathers.
with bird feathers.
Yeah, there were
I
feathers in it.
Get you some.
So yeah, like,
Make you a hairpiece out of it.
I wonder
No,
what
thank you.
that. I wonder what the bird feathers and hair is all about.
I don't
I,
know.
I
It
don't
could
want to
be.
know.
It could be from something that was left over in the haunted house, from where they do the haunted prison or whatever they call it. I can't remember what they call it technically, but it could be something from that. Hopefully it's nothing dark.
I saw it. I don't think you saw it on the video, but it was a large red ball of hair. I didn't see the bird feathers, but I did see the hair.
Like a hunter.
JJ said a big wad of hair. If you're in the chat, you can throw up those chat codes because it gets you 5 entries into Sunday Sweepstakes. We're giving away a large Easter basket. Chris here is yawning on me at, what time is it? 10 o'clock? So, yeah. What else did you guys come across in the tunnels? Anything interesting, Brittany, other than the hair?
Coolers. Giant coolers.
Wow.
I remember when we were all in the tunnels, we come across that big. It looked like it used to be part of the cafeteria, like a storage room that had all the cereal in it. The little
Yes.
cereal you get in school, the little plastic containers, you rip the top off of them.
JJ said it didn't look like a wig.
Well, it
No.
was somebody's wig. May not have been artificial, but it was part of somebody's wig.
So, JJ said it didn't look like a wig. Our big boss man's in here. He said laugh out loud. Okay, so what else? What was that one building that we thought was so pretty and that we had trouble hooking up the cameras in? The one that was down the sidewalk.
That was the
My
tuberculosis.
building.
That was
Yeah.
your building? The TB Center or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Building one.
I'll be honest, I was basically just following the leader. Like, I had no idea what building I was in at any given time. Like, the only thing I remember about that building was the entrance there where we were having problems setting up the cameras.
Can you add a picture to the scene?
Yeah, I have to upload it into the program.
Mm.
Is it on your computer?
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to see if we can upload a photo here, you guys. You find it. Give us a second here. Chris wants you guys to see a photo.
Uploaded.
Oh, no, you.
Image must be smaller.
Oh, too large. Darn it. He was going to show an image, but it's too large. It's probably from your camera, your nice camera.
Yeah, it's from the nice camera. Apparently, it doesn't like the size of it.
That's what she said.
That's what I thought.
I figured Brittany was going to say it, but you know.
No, you said it for me.
All right, let's see here. I'm trying to get this shared on social media.
I already shared it.
It doesn't show that you shared it. Go ahead and JJ. Kathy said now she can hear us. JJ said we caught a child's voice on my EVP recorder that said help me as soon as I started recording. Wow, where did you catch that at?
Cresson.
I know that, but which building?
That would be the first building, the tuberculosis hospital. That's the first place they went.
Is that where?
Hmm?
Is that where?
Yeah.
Hold on just a second, guys. I'm trying to figure something out here. What was your favorite part of Cresson, Brittany?
The serial killer's jail cell till JJ made him mad.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
somebody decided to lay in his bed and got all the power drained real quick.
Everything drained.
It didn't matter what it was. It drained my camera.
My
My cam-
phone.
my camera went from having brand new full batteries just stuck in it to putting them in the trash, adding new batteries.
Yep.
The new camera, the Canon, has 5 rechargeable batteries, so
Oh, so the favorite part was what? I was trying to share something.
the prison cell.
Oh, the prison cell where JJ
Laid in his bed.
laid in his bed. So, who was the serial killer again?
John. I can't
John.
think of his last name.
So, basically, we were getting ready to do an SD session with Brittany, and I think that's what was happening. And JJ didn't lay in the bed back in the safe building that I asked him to lay in the bed. And
That was too easy.
that was too easy. You know, JJ didn't do that in the safe zone. He waited until we got to the serial killer cell, and then he decided to lay in the bed. And what happened after that, Brittany?
We'll just say John was not very happy because when I went into my SD session, he wanted JJ dead.
He wanted JJ dead. JJ, hey, Tibet. She said, just looking at that place made my chest heavy. If you have chat codes, please put them up. We forgot to share this, so I'm trying to do it while Brittany and Chris and JJ are talking here. If you share it, you of course get entries. If you put up your chat code from the video, you'll get 5 entries, and we're having that drawing for the Easter basket Sunday evening. So it's worth the share. It's worth the chat code. I don't think Kathy or Tibet, I haven't seen any chat codes go up yet.
Cassie posted hers.
Okay. Let me write that down so I make sure she gets in there. All right. So, JJ, anything you want to say on your behalf? Won't make that mistake again. He was very upset. Yeah. Kathy said, yay. Yeah, he was a little upset at you, JJ.
Yeah, he made a point to drain every power source we had.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. And what else? What was happening to us downstairs? I can't remember.
You guys had the REM pod.
The REM pod went off, and then
started hearing whistling.
Yeah, we started hearing whistling, and it wasn't the wind. It was whistling, and yeah, we didn't get a chance to go back there. We didn't get a chance to find the catacombs, which had catacombs there.
The morgue.
We didn't get a chance to go to the morgue, so I definitely want to go back and hit those 2 spots. Kathy, all joke, be good, okay. I put it up. All right, Kathy, I got you. If you have a chat code, we might have already lost her. So Cresson, it was huge. There was like 20 buildings. We could not get our cameras to stretch far enough to really.
There was actually 20 buildings, but 17 that are open. They have 2 that's getting tore down, and 1 that they're turning into something else I won't mention. That's their business to mention.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we hit 5 buildings out of 13.
You say we hit 5 buildings out of the 17?
13.
Yeah.
13. Yeah, I stayed a lot in the tunnel and the chapel. That's what was fascinating me. JJ and Brittany, did you have something follow you down in the tunnel?
Yeah, he was laughing at JJ every time JJ had a duck from getting hit by a pole.
You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Not a good time to be the tall guy.
Yeah.
Oh, and it just felt like the tunnel kept getting shorter and shorter and shorter on JJ.
That was just an illusion. He was talking about that when we were walking through it. I said, it's just an illusion. You're going downhill. I said, that grade makes it look like it's getting smaller.
Yeah.
Not for us short people, though.
I had no issues.
No, but
Me either.
the way it was closing down. I mean, it was closing down to me, and I was short, so I can imagine what JJ was feeling like.
Imagine being in there with no light. He might have had a couple knots on his head.
Yeah, he might have had a couple noggins.
I almost did because of him.
You almost what?
Knocked my noggin a couple of times.
Really?
Yeah, because while we were down there and we were getting the trail cams, he kept turning his head with the light.
So anything else you guys want to talk about? JJ said the entity from the chapel tried to follow us, but we made it stop.
Didn't we have some walkie issues at Cresson?
Did we
Yes.
have walkie issues?
They were trying to talk to us, and they weren't getting to us for some reason.
Oh yeah.
When we were in the when we were in the tunnels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And just that one time. Any other time, we could hear each other.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of what else happened at Cresson other than us getting lost a bunch of times.
There was movement in the command center we kept having the whole time.
The knocking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Knocking, and it sounded like somebody running across the floor. Everybody kept talking in a shadow.
All right, so let's see. JJ, have anything else to say? No. Okay, so let's move on to talking about Old Hospital on College Hill.
There you go.
Yay!
I had to think about it for a second, but I didn't. Okay. I'll let you start off with your thoughts on it.
I loved it. It was a nice sized building to investigate, especially with the 4-person team like we got. There's plenty of room for everybody. You could investigate and not have all the noise on top of it. Plus, we were able to run cameras to every floor. So, we had a stream constantly.
Can we talk about how the mayor personally took us through the building?
Yes.
Oh, that was awesome.
Wasn't it?
He didn't just take us through it. He gave us a tour, told us a brief history and things that have happened in the past and things that were going on at that time.
And he gave us some really, well, he didn't give them to us, but he offered us some really nice t-shirts, long sleeves.
Yes, I started to wear mine tonight, but I didn't.
I was thinking about stealing Mike's for the night.
Oh yeah, Mike got one too. This is the one Mike was at. How did Mike feel? Like, honestly, how did Mike feel about it?
I think he honestly felt really good about it. It was the first time he actually got to go do a paranormal thing like that.
Did he like it?
Yes.
Yes.
JJ said the mayor was a very nice man.
Yes, he was very super nice. What was his name? I can't remember. Can you remember his name? It was in Williamson, West Virginia. I remember that much. But
Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie. Charlie the mayor, Williamson, West Virginia. He took us to the building. So we all, on this location, we all had solo in the dark investigations. Each one of us, even Mike did it, which I've just started watching his solo. So I'm going to get some evidence up for that as well as soon as I get done with it.
JJ got the basement. Mike got the first floor. I got the second floor. Brittany got the third floor, and you got the fourth floor.
Yeah, I got the fourth floor. So let's start with JJ, basement floor. JJ, how did you feel about the basement? JJ said he was a very nice man. Yeah, you already read that, didn't you?
Yeah.
JJ, are you there? Is JJ there?
Should be.
JJ?
I didn't like it, the basement. I got very dizzy and sick.
He got very dizzy and sick. Anything else you want to say about it, JJ? Does he answer?
No more.
They must have lag. No, I'm trying to share stuff and...
You need to stop worrying about that. right now. Because is JJ saying anything else?
I kept
Yes.
hearing steps on the first floor. Yeah.
We actually captured that.
Yeah, we did.
It was kind of crazy.
Let me see if I can pull it up here. Oh, I probably that's one of the videos you did, didn't it? Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to pull it up.
No, Mom's.
Well, let's see here. We have something we can play from the old hospital. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but we're about to see here. All right, where?
You said you sent it.
Gotta play it.
Who done that? Can you make that REM pod go off again? You cannot harm any of us. You cannot touch any of us. All you can do is communicate. Come back on that.
Don't have to come down here. Our door just opened.
Yeah, probably didn't like what I had to say.
Don't be cocky, because that's going to get you in problems.
I'm not. I told her it could not touch any of us or harm any of us.
Is it her?
I said, whatever you are, you cannot harm or touch any of us.
Our door opened when you said that.
Can you please step away from the device now? Thank you. If you are non-human, can you set that device off? Well, the spirit on this floor is definitely non-human. Please step away from the device now.
Definitely non-human, Chris said.
Right before you said that, we heard a knock down here at the command center.
Can you make that knocking noise again?
Brittany's coming to take some photos.
Take pictures toward that REM pod because it's pegging it.
Before. And I'm just getting an image of it in my head, staring at that doorway.
Yeah, me too. Whatever it is likes that side of the hall. Can you please step away from the device? Please step away.
Don't like your IR lane either.
No, it doesn't because it knows it can be seen when it's in the infrared. Give me a second here. I'm going to pull out the thermal.
7-4.
Oh, that's you. I was like, what was that flash?
Brittany, have you snapped a photo yet?
Yes.
Have,
I'm getting images of hot spots and I just recorded it.
Awesome.
Upstairs driving. Don't go down that hallway.
No, I'm not planning on it.
Have you talked to the camera? Let the audience know how you're feeling. Don't forget to do that before you leave.
Yeah, I've done it more than once.
I can go this hallway, right?
Think of it.
Yeah.
Look,
Oh, yeah.
see that dot?
Yep.
No, it's gone. There it's back.
Now it's back. Oh, it's going to hate me for a second. That's a little bit of the old hospital on College Hill. So you were in that scene mostly. That was your little investigation. How did you feel about that?
At first, it wasn't bad. I could feel the energy of something on the hallway to the left of me when I first sat down, which was toward the fire exit door, down by just, I think there was 6 or 7 rooms that direction.
Mhm.
And I could hear footsteps, and every once in a while it sounded like a little peck on something.
Mhm.
And I was trying to interact with it. It must have been residual because it wouldn't interact intelligently. It just done whatever it wanted on its own time.
Right.
And then I got up to move to look toward the right side of me, which is where most of the video took place. And as I was standing there, something shoved the door, and the door hit me in the back. And that's when everything started. And I was like, who done that?
Yeah. So JJ said there's an amputation room and furnaces that still had human remains in them. And he did walk into though, and so did you. Brittany and I were actually smart and stayed out of that area. How did you guys feel about the furnace area that you stepped into?
It was definitely a heavy feeling, but I didn't go over like JJ did where the remains were and investigate. I wasn't going to interrupt the remains. And
JJ, I can't remember. Did you come out of there with a scratch or anything? The best of this place makes my shoulders tense. I definitely get that.
That floor right there should make your shoulders tense.
Yeah. Kathy said, wow. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. JJ, did you get a scratch or anything in there? I was thinking that you did.
I know we got direct communication multiple times on the spirit box session with the EM pump running there.
Yeah.
Which was the first time we really put the EM pump into action during our investigation since I built it.
Yeah. Kathy says I want to go there. JJ said I did get a scratch in the X-ray room. I didn't go near the remains. I thought maybe you came out of there with a scratch. So I came from Cresson with a scratch. JJ came from the hospital with a scratch. Did you guys have any scratches, Brittany, Chris?
No.
No. How did you feel about the hospital, Brittany? Because I have a scene coming up with you.
Oh, I love the hospital.
So who was your little buddy on your floor? Tell everybody what floor you were on.
So I was on the 3rd floor, and I had the cop killer known as Blackburn.
Mose Blackburn, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So tell everybody the story about Mose briefly. What the deal is with Mose.
So Mose was downtown with his wife, and they were arguing, and the cops were called, and he ended up shooting a cop and had a standoff with them and was brought to the hospital. A couple days later, he decided he was going to jump out of his window.
Right.
And he ended up surviving, but then dying later on to the injuries.
And the crazy part is where he landed, most people wouldn't even realize when you're in the hospital, inside where you actually walk into right now, used to be open. That was a sidewalk and part of the parking lot area. And that's where Mose landed, which is where right now you come in through the door and you'd make a right. And as soon as you make that right to start down that hallway is where Mose landed on the concrete.
Yeah,
right where I stopped when we walked in.
Yeah. And the mayor's like, oh, yeah, right there, that's where he landed. And we were like standing right in the spot. Oh, okay.
That explains a lot right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, according to the mayor, depending on who you asked, whether it was like one of his patient friends or I think even a nurse, thought that he was possessed by a demon and that is what provoked him to jump. Or some people think it was because he wanted to avoid arraignment the next day on his charges. So, uh, Brittany got some answers for us with Moe's. Did you not?
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, yes, you did. Okay, well, we're going to show you, hopefully, Brittany's.
Hopefully, Shell is clicking the right video.
Hopefully, I am. You know, if it's a party that's not at the hospital, then I apologize. But here we go. Hopefully, this.
Is that device in the hallway giving you energy?
All right, so this is the EM pump session, not Brittany's, but we'll get Brittany's up here in a minute. That nurse is here. I think they're all gathering out there.
Help. That was plain as day.
There's a goosebump.
Who needs help?
My right hand is cold right now.
There's Billy.
Me.
There's me.
Do you need freeze from here?
I do.
All right, we found Brittany's. We're gonna send back now.
So this is Brittany. I am on the 3rd floor. Oh my. If there's anybody here, can you come communicate? Mose, if you're in here, can you please touch the REM pod? I'm not here to hurt you. I just want to communicate and get some answers. It's said that you killed a cop. Is that true? Can you touch the REM pod? Thank you. Can you please step away from the REM pod? Please step away from the REM pod. Thank you. So there's a story going around that you... Can you please step away from the REM pod? Mose? Thank you. Were you upset when you jumped out of the window? Can you touch the REM pod and let me know? Did you have something attached to you? That's why you jumped out the window? Yes. Can you please stop touching the REM pod? Thank you. Please step away from the REM pod. Mose? Can you please stop touching the REM pod? Thank you. Do you still walk this hospital because you're stuck here? Can you touch the REM pod for me? Yes, okay. Can you please step away from the REM pod? Thank you. Are you okay with us being here and investigating? Can you please step away from the REM pod? Who's that? Oh, you just gave me a heart attack. I'm like, I hear footsteps.
You must not have radio on because I talked to you.
Power on. It was on.
There you go. It's not plugged in or anything, but there's power pack and...
Okay. Can you please stop touching the REM pod? Mose? Thank you. So I put the light on the wall. All it does is let me know that you're in here. It's not going to harm you. It's going to let everybody else know that you're here. Yes, I know you're still here. Thank you. Can you please stop touching the REM pod? Mose? Thank you. Nope. Please stop touching the REM pod. I want to ask you a couple more questions. Please step away from the REM pod. Thank you. Was the reason you killed the cop because he was fooling around with your wife? Yes. Okay. Can you please stop touching the REM pod? Mose? Thank you. Did you want to harm people? Is that why you shot him, or were you upset? If you were upset, can you touch the REM pod? Did something possess you? Can you touch the REM pod for me? Thank you. Please step away from the REM pod. Mose? Thank you. I just wanted answers. I just wanted to know why. What happened to you? Yes. Can you please stop touching it? Mose? Thank you. Do you leave your room, or do you stay in your room? If you stay in your room, can you touch the REM pod? If you leave your room, can you touch the REM pod? So you do walk the hospital. Can you step away from the REM pod? Thank you. Are you afraid to go on the second floor? Can you touch the REM pod if you are? Okay. Thank you. Can you step away from the REM pod? Do you mind us being here? If you don't mind us being here, can you touch the REM pod? I can feel you. Yes. Thank you. Can you stop touching the REM pod? Mose, thank you. Do you mind that we're here? If you don't mind us here, can you touch the REM pod? And just let me know? Thank you, Mose. Can you please stop touching? Please stop touching the REM pod. Thank you. Is there something here that we should be cautious about? If so, can you touch the REM pod and let me know? Have you seen the nurse? Has your nurse come in and checked on you lately? She has. Can you please step away from the REM pod? Mose? Nope, please stop touching the REM pod. Mose, can you please step away from the REM pod? Thank you. Did your wife sleep with a cop? Is that why you shot him? Can you touch the REM pod if that's what happened? Did something tell you to shoot the cop? If so, can you touch the REM pod and let me know? I promise I'm not here to harm you. I just want to ask you questions. Are you still here with me? If you are, can you touch the REM pod? Mose? Thank you. Can you please stop touching it? Please stop touching the REM pod, Mose. Step away from the REM pod, please. Please step away from the REM pod. Yes, I know you're still here with me. Can you please step away? Thank you. Is there anybody else in here with us? Or is it just you? Is there anybody else in this hospital? Thank you. Mose, please step away from the REM pod. I know you're in here. Thank you. Am I allowed to go look around? Can you touch the REM pod? Do you not want me to leave? If so, can you touch the REM pod? Or can you come speak into the microphone over here and let me know you're still here? Ow!
So that was interesting. We didn't play the whole clip, but any clips that we show tonight, they are on our YouTube channel. You can go and watch. Brittany and I also had a really cool session up on the 4th floor on my investigation where we contacted the child Billy, and he actually turned the flashlight on for us. And I remember Brittany's like, "This is awesome," and it was really awesome that he was doing that.
When you guys were taking pictures in there, I was at command center watching, and saw a face in the hole of that wall when she snapped the picture and flashed
Oh, really?
went off.
See, I haven't gotten to watch the security footage that Chris and them were recording when we were up there. But was there anything going on the security footage? JJ, Chris?
when you were in that room,
Mm-hmm.
there was some orbs that appeared other than the face. I mean, other than the interaction you guys were having. I mean, that was the main thing I was paying attention to. JJ was running the command center, so.
And actually, in that location, the light went on and off several times, I think, didn't it? And then
Yep.
a couple times it flickered, like he was trying to get it to go off. But it actually went off and on, which is really cool. But huh?
I said, he'd look the camera on me.
Well, I'm talking to you. My bad. I'll look at the camera. Let's see. What else about the hospital? The elevator. The elevator was Brittany's favorite thing, wasn't it?
We got her to ride so
No.
many times.
JJ, what do you think about it? JJ said he seems like females more than males. He seems to like females more than males to me. Kathy said that was something. JJ said the ball on the second floor moved a lot. JJ, tell us about, throw up in the chat about the ball of light that you saw on the ball. And before we started recording, Chris and I were following Brittany and Mike down the hallway, and I just happened to look down at the ball, and that thing was just a moving, like between us, like we didn't touch it at all. It was following Mike and Brittany down the hallway, but we didn't have any cameras and we didn't get it on camera. But I was like, you guys, this ball is following you. But it just took off down the hallway after Brittany and Mike, but we didn't get that on footage, unfortunately. But that was a cool moment.
Yeah. You end up missing a lot of moments when you're trying to set up and do a walkthrough to get your baseline. And
yeah. JJ said, I love the old elevator. I did too. I liked it too. It actually I liked it better than the hotel elevator you were at. I'm not going to mention the name of the hotel, but the hotel Brittany was staying at, the elevator was kind of sketchy to me.
Sketchy's not a good word for that. It was more like you may not get to your destination.
But yeah,
I thought that a lot of times.
Yeah.
When you're riding an elevator, it should be going.
But yeah, that elevator, I really liked it. It was just cool. It was old, but Brittany didn't like it, I don't think.
No, I took the stairs.
Yeah.
That old elevator was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah. It made packing up and setting up easy because we just threw everything in the elevator and sent it up to the second floor. But let's talk about the second floor of the hospital, Chris. That was your solo investigation. You determined that it was an inhuman spirit, which we all knew something bad was on the second floor.
I just felt the energy shift, and normally I don't get a lot of activity like that. I mean, we do in places, but not that quick. Like, it was within the first 10 minutes of my solo that everything shifted. Like, energy was just supercharged all of a sudden, and I could tell that whatever it was either an angry spirit or very upset about something. So I kept trying to communicate with it as a human spirit and could get nothing. The minute I asked if it was non-human, the REM pod just like that lit up. And I asked it to back away, it stopped. And I said, if you're really non-human, can you do that again? And it lit it right up. And started seeing shadows moving. I was asking direct questions relating to how I felt. If you watch the YouTube video, I even say feel like something's in that left room. And when I say it's in the left room, the REM pod lights right up and interacts instantly. I said, you don't like people going down that hallway, do you? The REM pod goes off, lights right up. And
JJ said there was a ball on the second floor and it moved from one side of the hall to the other, and a large light form appeared in front of the ball as it moved, and he caught it on camera. So yeah, JJ's our command center, so his job was to monitor all the security cameras we had, and he said that he actually caught a big ball of light hitting the ball. But unfortunately, I haven't had access to the DVR system yet, but I will, and I'll get that footage off, and we'll have a whole bunch of footage coming on YouTube from that alone.
there's just a lot of footage. I mean, you got to think we're using 2 cameras now to take, 3 cameras for still photos. We're using 7 cameras for the DVR system, 2 trail cameras, 3 night vision cameras that we carry with us, plus the body cam that I stick out, and that's night vision to catch footage on it. It's just a little small thing that picks up like 30-foot area, and so I mean, there's a lot of footage that you have to go through, and watch over and over, try to debunk it before we actually put it up.
So yeah, we had those were probably really fun times that we all had at those two places, locations. And like I said, anything that we don't show tonight, you can go to our YouTube channel. The flashlight one with Brittany and I on the 4th floor, I highly recommend. We did do an EM pump thing that Chris set up for us.
We've done that at the Haunted Haymond as well.
We did that at the Haunted Haymond as well, and we have the whole live from the Haunted Haymond on our, I believe it's on YouTube and I believe it's on Facebook, but it's on one of the social media channels. The whole I think we did 3 hours, but let me see here.
We done something that I set up and they had no clue I set up. And we were getting ready to go outside to take a break so everybody could just reground and everything.
Go ahead.
And while we were doing that, they were talking about what they wanted to do next, and I didn't even tell them. And I took a walkie and stuck in the room so that when we walked off, we could communicate with it and see what happened from command center when nobody was in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And for 35 minutes, it interacted directly, lit up REM pods that weren't even in that room or on that floor.
Yeah, that was so cool. We were like, what, at least an hour, I think.
There was 35 minutes I know we recorded for sure, and I think we interacted with it off live for another half hour at least. So, I mean, there's a good bit of evidence when it comes to that. And I mean, we were asking multiple spirits, and it would light up certain ones. And the negative spirit that everybody kept feeling seemed to answer in one room, not the rest of the building. And
yeah, we asked if they wanted more flowers planted. That was something that Gretchen wanted to know in the live, and I told her I would ask later on. I ended up asking in that little experiment we did, and it did light up the REM pod saying they wanted more flowers planted.
yes.
So she hit that one. But yeah, we talked to Emma Haymond, we talked to William Haymond, and the elemental in the seance room.
We talked about his second wife. The two wives seem to be spatting with each other.
Wife number 1 and wife number 2 are in the house with him. And wife number 1 said she was not sure if she liked the situation or not. So it was really fun, and I do recommend you guys going and watching that little experiment at the Haunted Haymond. JJ, anything you want to say about the Haunted Haymond before we cut it off? We've been like an hour and 10 minutes now.
JJ said tell him about the cabinet door.
Oh, the cabinet door at the hospital.
At the old hospital on College Hill. It was before Brittany came out to take pictures. That's why they sent Brittany out. I was sitting the REM pod up. I put the REM pod on the floor, backed up to get the camera, and I was turning the chair so I could put the night vision camera on the REM pod to film any evidence we were getting. And as I bent down to do it, the cabinet door swung open and I saw it out of the corner of my eye. Too bad the camera was pointed at the ground because I was setting everything down. So, but the cabinet door opened up. I mean, nobody's going to believe you. It's not on footage, but
I think you did film it after it opened. It was open.
It was open at least 6 inches that it opened up.
And I think you might have heard it on the video because I think I watched it.
I thought you could hear it creak, but
No, you definitely hear the creak of the cabinet door opening.
And I remember Brittany saying at some point when you were out there, you two were out there together, I remember hearing you say something about being nauseous.
Oh yeah, when I started going towards the left side and Chris told me to step backwards.
Yeah, I remember her saying that she felt nauseous. So,
yeah, I knew whatever was on that side was a little more aggressive. It wasn't trying to be very nice to anyone.
No.
So.
And actually, in the command center, we were down there, and you said something, and our door popped right open.
It was after it started communicating with me, just when I got hit with the door in the back. And I was like, who done that? And I said, whoever or whatever is here, you cannot harm any of us. And at the same time I said that, the door at the command center popped open, and then they heard a knock.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
JJ said the Haunted Haymond was amazing. We had so much activity all night long and very direct responses. I think you caught an image through the window from when you were shooting drone footage, didn't you?
Yeah, it looks like a face in one of the rooms. I believe it was the second floor. if I remember correct. It
And
will be posted, but I have to edit it.
yeah, we haven't really gone through a lot of that yet because we put it mainly all on live.
Yeah.
We got to use the shadow box, which is really cool, Brittany. I'm sad that you didn't get to come on that one because the shadow box was really fun.
I'm jealous.
It was like, did you see a picture of it?
I did.
Yeah, it's like tall. It looks like a jukebox.
We'll have to go back there and let Brittany experience that place. I mean, it's somewhere close to where when she's here.
Yeah. So let's see, the Haunted Haymond. Yeah, that's all on YouTube. Our whole live is on YouTube. The session, the SD session, I got nominated for this time, where the spirit touched my butt cheeks. That's on YouTube. Yeah.
I pulled her out at the end because right beside Shell's head, the way she was laying, it would have been on the left side of her head, but her right. All of a sudden, I saw like this red light just expand by her head and get really bright, and then it dissipated. And she was talking about it touching her.
Yeah, my butt cheeks got ice cold. Each single butt cheek got ice cold, like it was going like this. And I was like, please don't take a picture of my butt, because I felt like that's what his next move was going to be. So I actually said that on live. But yeah, that's on YouTube as well.
Actually, at the Haunted Haymond house, the still camera that I was using, the Canon, was having malfunctions in the room where the owner, Teresa, kept hearing growls at. Like, it would not take pictures. I had to fight with it. The camera would just come up and say busy. So.
It's 11:11, y'all. Well, it was 11:11.
I thought that.
Kathy's laughing at us, and Devette said I felt something went on there in the stairway. Possibly. I do know I felt like an energy come up and down the stairway a lot, and we asked in the REM pod session who that was walking up and down the steps, and we came down to the conclusion that that was the elemental spirit coming up and down the steps. Because we asked each one of them. Emma, was it you? And it didn't light up. And William, was it you? It didn't light up. Was it the elemental? It lit up. So that might be what you're picking up on, Devette. JJ said, I told Shell before we started investigation that I felt something there, was attracted to her, and then her butt got touched. Yeah, that is true. When we were setting up, JJ was downstairs. He said, I feel like some man in there likes you, Shell. And I was like, yeah, possible. And then later, I got felt up again. This is now the second time I've been felt up by a ghost. But that's another story for another
this
day.
one grabbed both cheeks. The first one just kind of fondled one.
Hey, I still like Billy kissing me on the cheek before we left.
Right? Billy, the child spirit at the hospital, he took a liking to Brittany, of course, which I knew he would. All kids love Brittany. But he was holding her hand and switched her rings on her hand and gave you a kiss even.
When we had the spirit box session at the old college, the old hospital on College Hill, when all of us was a group in that little room, we got direct evidence that Billy was there. The same voice that come through on the device you guys were using came through on my device. And on top of that, when I asked what people there had done to him, they were talking about amputations, and I said, is there someone in this room with us that had a limb amputated? And directly, yep. Right out of the same.
Kathy said that's adorable, and aw, and then our producer said aw. Yeah, it was sweet. But when Chris told me that Brittany was coming up, I knew that, we were going to get some activity because all children love Brittany. And he was being pretty active before she came up, but I think he really got active after she came up.
Yeah.
And he played with the flashlight for us, and whenever we did the ghost box, normally they come, like, when you use two different ghost boxes, it's normally two different voices. But with the spirits in the hospital, especially Billy, he was coming through multiple different apps with the same voice. So that was kind of amazing. What do you think?
Yeah, both devices was the same voice, which is never really happens. I mean, that's very rare that you'll hear the same voice from the same spirit on two different devices.
Yeah. So, yeah, the nurse was like that too, and I don't think I ever heard Mose. But Mose was pretty active.
Mose was REM pod. He was happy about touching the REM pod.
When we were watching her on the security footage, that REM pod we couldn't hear because we can't hear on our security footage. We can only see. But that REM pod was just dancing like it was going off. I was like, she's getting something.
Somebody scared Brittany. Said, "Smile, you're on camera."
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
In that scene on YouTube, where Brittany gets answers from Mose, if you want to watch the whole clip, Brittany does lose her temper with Chris because in the middle of her in the dark session with Mose, he plays over the speaker of the security camera, "Smile, you're on camera," and Brittany gets pissed.
Hey, that's better what you guys done to me. You guys are playing the banjo scene from Deliverance across the walkies when I'm trying to interact with them. They said it's not human.
But at the hospital, Brittany, I did get Chris back. When he was doing his little thing, I hit the "Smile, you're on
You
camera"
mean
thing.
at the Haunted Haymond?
Yeah, at the Haunted Haymond, I hit the "Smile, you're on camera" button on him a couple times.
When she
Well,
done
thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
said somebody think they got just tonight.
I was like, this is for Brittany. Boop.
And it was complete darkness up there. I mean, the only windows is there's a little round one that was about this big around, and then one clear over here that's in the darkness. I mean, there's no light coming in that room at all. Mm-hmm. So when she done it caught me off guard for sure. I was kind of like.
JJ said Mose said he didn't go to the second floor when Brittany asked him.
He didn't like the second floor.
Hey, Gretchen. Welcome, girl. We're having a little chit-chat with Brittany and JJ and our producers in the room tonight.
JJ was having technical difficulties, so he's not on video. He's just in chat.
Yeah. So we've had a pretty few interesting locations, and we're going to be going more places very soon.
I'll tell you what was crazy, talking about Mose not liking to come into the second floor. When we used that EM pump, we had it running for a good hour. And after it really built up that energy in the hallway and stuff, Mose came into that room with us. And he even said whatever was on that second floor, he didn't like. So
yeah, I remember that.
I'm not going to say what it was for sure. All I know is it said it was non-human. And the only time it would interact is if you referred to it as non-human. And so...
All right, guys. So we've taken up almost an hour and a half of your time. This is supposed to be Q2 hour. So we are going to get ready to end the live. I just want to remind you that if you throw up your chat codes, you will get 5 entries into our sweepstakes. If you share it on your social media, this live event, doesn't matter if it's going on or not, you still share it. You will get entries for those.
Feel free to rewatch it if you'd like.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions for the team really quickly? Anybody have any questions that you want to throw up for the team before we say goodnight?
Feel free to ask.
Anybody have questions for the team?
Smile, you're on camera.
Funny. She was like, really?
I'm telling you guys what, it was hilarious because her IR camera, when the IR light turned toward the other night vision camera, of course it looks like a flashlight from where it picks up that extra light. And you could see her as soon as I done it, she was like...
Well, that's scary. I'm like, oh, she's going to be mad. But of course I couldn't hear what she's saying, but when I got home, I was like...
Not to get Mike in trouble, but Mike was laughing about
no.
it.
Something tells me Mike's right there. So, yeah, guys.
Yeah.
YouTube.
What's up, Mike?
I hear Mike.
What's up? I didn't hear what I got in trouble for, but that's all right.
Oh, Chris ratted you out saying that you were laughing when Chris turned on the smile, you're on camera, and I freaked out.
Oh, yeah, I was laughing.
Well, be honest about it. You know.
Hey, we gotta get each other.
Yeah, I have to say, since Mike is right there, he really did a good job. He went right in there in the dark, like the rest of us who have been doing it we've been doing it for a long time. And he walked right in there and he did a great job. He helped us even pack up.
Oh, yeah.
So,
right. He was a great help.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing the Haunted Mansion first, I believe. And I do believe Mike gets us to come on that, right? If I remember correctly.
Yes.
He is one of the winners.
He is.
It did happen.
Jeffrey is another winner. So I think those are our 2 guest investigators for the Haunted Mansion. So that'll be coming out next. So, and as for the rest of the locations, I'm not allowed to say anything. You guys will have to watch.
Wait and see.
And wait and see. But if there are no questions, JJ said, great job, Mike. If there are no questions, we are going to say good night, guys. Thank you for joining us. Good luck on our sweepstakes. Brittany, we love you. Mike, we love
Great
you.
evening. Enjoy your weekend.
JJ, we love you. Javette, Kathy, Gretchen, everybody who came, we love you. And we'll see you next time, guys. Night.
Bye.
Bye.
Night, guys.